Hi everyone, this is Tanner here from the Main to Man Coverage Podcast channel. Welcome back to another episode of the 2021 NFL Prediction Series. Last time we did Week 3, today we'll be doing Week 4. Let's recap Week 3 here first. I went pretty good in my predictions. I went 12-4. So for the AFC NFC column, we had some really neat games. Panthers going to 3-0. Bills and Browns dominating. That Cardinals game was crazy. Same with the Ravens. Justin Tucker to win it with the record-setting distance for an NFL field goal at the end. The Saints did beat the Patriots, though. And then NFC column, I didn't do as well. The Falcons did win a very messy game. They get their first win of the season. The Rams did win, as did the Vikings. Green Bay got a last-second win. Dallas won as well. They look pretty good. AFC column, I got every one of them right, except the Chargers being the Chiefs. Chargers are now 2-1, Chiefs 1-2, and also my upset of the week, the Bengals being the Steelers, became true. So let's go to Week 4, which I am very excited for. As we start on the AFC column with the Jaguars against the Bengals. Now, first, this game might look kind of boring, like why is this a primetime game? But the one thing that's really cool is that you have Trevor Lawrence, who is this year's number 1 overall pick, versus last year's number 1 overall pick, Joe Burrow. That's the excitement of this game. And I think in this big cat battle, the Bengals do win. Joe Burrow beats Trevor Lawrence. Joe Burrow looks great. And that Bengals defense has also been pretty good. They're good at forcing turnovers, and Lawrence has turned the ball over a good amount. So I think that the Bengals win. It could be somewhat close, but I think Cincinnati goes to 3-1. Texans-Bills, I think Buffalo beats Houston. That Texans secondary has some issues. Yes, the defensive line is nice at times, but I think Josh Allen and crew can really take advantage of a poor Texans secondary. I don't think the Texans have the firepower to keep up with the Bills. Colts Dolphins, these are two teams that have been very similar throughout this season. They have some nice defensive players, but overall, the defenses haven't been elite. Their offenses, they've had some injuries, so these two teams very similar with Indianapolis and Miami. I think this will be kind of an ugly game with some picks and turnovers. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I just feel like at home, I trust that defense more. Carson Wentz in Indianapolis, I feel like I say the same thing with them every week. They just don't have any superstar elite talent, and that hurts them. And Dolphins defense can play at a high level, and I think they do. Titans-Jets, I don't think this is close at all. I have Derrick Henry in fantasy. I'm super happy. I think Tennessee is going to drop at least 30 on the Jets. Jets are now looking good. And then we have Ravens-Broncos. This is my game of the week, Tanner's game of the week here, Baltimore and Denver. The main reason is that you have Lamar Jackson playing in Mile High Stadium. Mile High Stadium just is kind of one of those stadiums with a lot of legacy. And you have that defense with Von Miller against this Ravens offense with Lamar Jackson running. And also, an upset of the week, Tanner's upset of the week, I think the Broncos do beat the Ravens. The Broncos secondary is really fast. I think they'll be able to keep up with Ravens wide receivers like Sammy Watkins and Hollywood Brown. I think the Broncos will be able to stop the run and get after Lamar Jackson. And that Broncos offense doesn't turn the ball over. I think this is close in like 27-21. But I do have the Broncos winning and remaining undefeated. Next up, I have the Raiders and the Chargers. This is going to be a fun game. These two teams here in the AFC West, the division game. I think this game could go into overtime. This is the Monday night game. I'm going to go with the Chargers. The reason is Las Vegas' secondary concerns me. Sometimes they have trouble with physical wide receivers, and that's something that LA has with people like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. I think this will be close, but I have the Chargers winning. Also, cool fact is that the Thursday night game kicks off with Joe Burrow, second-year QB, and then ends with a second-year QB with Justin Herbert hosting. Both quarterbacks have looked pretty good so far. All right, AFC versus NFC column here. Chiefs-Eagles, I think Kansas City beats Philadelphia. Both defenses have not looked that good, but the Eagles really struggle with speed. I think it could be cool to see Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes go at it, but I think the Chiefs just match up very well against the Eagles. I have Kansas City being Philadelphia, and I have the Chiefs going 2-2. Very excited for this game, Browns-Vikings. One of the main reasons is that the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, before he became head coach, he was with the Vikings a lot of his career. So that'll be a cool revenge game. Also, these two offenses really show where the NFL is going. The outside zone running, going play action. And you have a lot of fun offensive playmakers. For the Vikings, you got Justin Jefferson, who's looked great. Adam Thielen, quarterback Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook. For the Browns, you have running back Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Although Beckham Jr. looks good and healthy, and Baker Mayfield's been a nice QB. So this will be a pretty fun game. I'm going to go for Cleveland beating Minnesota. I just like the Browns' defense a bit more than the Vikings, but yeah, I do think Cleveland wins. Oh my, the Steelers' offense looks pretty bad. Even though Pittsburgh's defense has been good, that offense is bad, and I think the Packers beat the Steelers. It'll be cool to see the Pittsburgh defense, TJ Watt. I believe he will be healthy, going up against this Green Bay offense with Aaron Rodgers. And I think it will be somewhat close at first, but I think the Packers pull away. That Steelers, they just have trouble scoring points. This game is going to be talked about a lot. This Buccaneers-Patriots game is Tom Brady's return to New England, right? Tom Brady's on Tampa Bay. He's visiting New England. These two teams, they play each other every 4 years. So it's a very unique game. Tom Brady, how does this offense do against this Bill Belichick-led defense with New England? I do think the Buccaneers beat the Patriots, though, at the end of it. I just don't think Mac Jones, the rookie quarterback for New England, will be able to keep up with Tampa Bay, and I think the Buccaneers win. Tom Brady's, return to New England, I think he leaves with a W, and I think the Buccaneers go to 3-1. So, this game is going to be talked about a lot, and for good reason. The storyline is fantastic. It's top tier, probably one of the best storylines in sports, but I think Tom Brady and the Buccaneers do win. All right, NFC column here. Lions-Bears, this is a coin flip game. I was going to go for the Bears at first, but now Justin Fields might not play. The Lions almost beat the Ravens. I'll go them. We have 3 NFC South versus NFC East matchups here. First one, we have the Carolina Panthers visiting the Dallas Cowboys. Both teams have some injuries, but Christian McCaffrey being out for the Panthers really hurts him. McCaffrey, when he's healthy, can really help, keep a momentum. I think it'll be hard for the Panthers to keep up with the Cowboys. So I have Dallas winning. It wouldn't shock me if the Panthers remain undefeated and win, but I do think Dallas wins at home. Dak Prescott's looking pretty nice. I do have the Falcons being Washington here for the next game. Washington's defense has looked surprisingly bad. Their offense is fine. I believe that the veteran Matt Ryan will have a pretty good game here and get a win at home. Falcons go to 2-2. Giants Saints. This is the Saints' first game this season in their home stadium. That defense has looked pretty nice this year. That's just a recipe of disaster for the Giants. I think the Saints win at home. We have 2 NFC West games to conclude things. Both of these are kind of coin flip games. More so this one, Seattle and San Francisco. I'm going to go with the Seahawks over the 49ers. I know the 49ers almost beat the Packers. I just haven't really been over impressed with them. Like, the 49ers have looked good, not great though, in my opinion. And Russell Wilson is a top-tier quarterback. I think he'll help the Seahawks win. I have the Seahawks winning 30-27. I think this could be a game that's down to a last-second field goal. And then Cardinals Rams. Since Sean McVay has been head coach for LA, the Rams have beat the Cardinals every time. So I think that streak continues. I think the Rams remain undefeated. I think the Cardinals suffer the first loss. I just think the Cardinals defense has trouble with their, with passes over the middle. And Matthew Stafford and this Rams offense likes to go over the middle with people like Cooper Kupp. And I think, the Rams have a lockdown corner injury on Rams. You can really limit DeAndre Hopkins in this Cardinals wide receiving core. So I have the Rams winning, and that'll do it for week 4, everyone. There's a lot of cool storylines for this week. A lot of these games, I could see them going back and forth, but it'll be a fun week of football. And until then, everyone, enjoy football this weekend and have a good one.